I'm Paul.
I'm Devin.
Together, we're Dads and Dice, two dads who like to play some games during our free time.
That's right, and today we are reviewing Nightfall by Red Raven Games. In Nightfall, some demons are attacking an abbey, and you have all your knights trying to defend it. You can either play as the knights, play as the demons, play co-op, play against each other, play the campaign. There's all kinds of ways to play.
Yeah, so like Devin mentioned, there's all kinds of ways to play this game. Honestly, it's a really cool way that they set it up, right? It's a 1 to 6 player game where you can play team versus team, you can play 1v1, you can play co-op, you can play the campaign. But it's a really cool, like I said, it's really cool how that works. If you're playing competitively, 2-player, you each control 2 characters. So one person will play as the knight, one person will play as the demons, and it always goes demons, knights, demons, knights. And really, all you're trying to do is kill each other and kill the elders if you're the demons, and if you're the knights, you're just trying to protect it.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool because there's some asymmetry in it. You both are going along a victory point track, but kind of the ways you get those victory points is a little bit different. The knights are really just trying to survive and defend. It's almost like a tower defense type of game for the knights, in a sense, in that you're really just kind of threat management the best you can, and just trying to survive, get a few victory points here and there, but surviving the rounds is really kind of the key play. And then the demons, it's kind of different in that you're the one actually attacking, but a lot of times you're kind of not incentivized to attack the player directly. You really don't care. No, I'm not going to say don't care about the knights, but you don't go directly after the knights. You go straight after your victory points and make the knights kind of react to you. And so it's really a unique way it does it. We have actually got to play it just 1v1. We haven't done teams, but really the 1v1 kind of gets the full experience of it. Teams, we'd be on a team and we'd each be taking turns with the knights or the demons, whereas this way I control all the knights, I get to do them, you control the demons, and I kind of personally prefer that. I am a fan of 1v1 tactical games, so I really do enjoy that. But the way they did the co-op and leading into the campaign, I think is really cool. The co-op, I have not actually played 2-player co-op, kind of for similar reasons. I would rather just control them all. But you get to control 2 knights against a deck that monitors how the demons are, and I actually think it's kind of a unique way it does it. The demons are not the smartest, but they're very powerful, and that really, it balances it well. I'm not going to say it's the hardest game in the world by any means, but there's been times I have really had to think about how to kind of figure out this situation.
Yeah, and when you're playing that co-op or the solo mode, right, it's you're always going to be the knights. And so you're always going against the demons. And like Devin said, the demons, they're not going to make the same decisions that a human would make, right? They don't have that same capability, obviously. So there will be a couple times where, they're off in a corner kind of by themselves, but they're going to deal a ton of damage. And unfortunately for them, fortunately for you, there's no one around there. So, but like you said, that's balanced pretty well, because when it does hit you, it hits you and you feel it. One thing that I really like about it are, it's all the elders that you have, right? So the demons, that's really where they get the most victory points. If you kill an elder, you get 2 victory points. If you kill a knight, you get 1. So really trying to prevent the damage to those elders or trying to just protect them and heal them, that's where the meat of the game is. And the fact that there's so many of them and they're spread out throughout the entire abbey, it makes it a hard decision for, okay, I know there's an imp here, and I know this other demon is here. Which one do I want to go to? So the decision space there, it's pretty big, and then just the timing of, okay, I need to move there first, and then I can do this range attack, or then I need to do this melee. So there's a lot going on. but it just flows really well.
Yeah, so the way the whole card combat mechanic kind of works is it's really neat. So you always have a basic card that's going to be just doing basic movement, but then you'll have a hand of 3 cards, and there's 3 ways to use each of those cards. There's kind of a top action, which is a more powerful version of the basic actions, let you attack twice, let you heal twice, those type of things. And then there's a bottom ability, which it's not like it's a super powerful ability, but usually it's a situationally powerful ability. So if the situation is right, it's like, oh, I can use this very effectively. Otherwise, you kind of have the fallback top ability. And then if, for whatever reason, they don't quite line up how you need to, you can always use it for its backside, and its backside is just one of the basic abilities. So where like the top side typically would be something like 2 attack. Well, maybe you didn't have that, but you just need to finish somebody off. You can use the backside for 1 attack. So I think it's really neat how it did that. And it has some other little mechanics in there. Like I think the slowed is pretty cool, where you can force a person to only use 1 of their cards as a basic. But ultimately how they do that as the combat, and that really not just combat, but all the movement, every action you do is based off those cards, is so clever, and I really enjoy that.
Yeah, I really like those multi-use cards, and just like you said, the way that they do it, it works super efficiently. One thing that I really enjoy about this game is the fact that when you're playing, it doesn't matter if your character dies, right? That doesn't end the game. In a way, you kind of want to go through different characters because they have different abilities. So how it works is you start with your character. If it dies, the other team just gets victory points. You have a new character that spawns. So if you're a demon, you have a new demon. If you're a knight, you get a new knight. But that gives you a new ability, right? In the playthrough that we had, it was the Wrath Knight, right? So anytime an elder dies, he does damage to somebody that's adjacent or close. There's other knights in there that one of them will put fire into a room, and anytime anybody goes into that room, it deals a damage, right? So it's these cool situational abilities that in a way you kind of want to use. And again, it doesn't feel bad if your character dies. Now, there are some characters that are a lot more powerful than the other characters. But again, that makes the game different. You just have to change your way of playing. You have to be a little bit flexible in your gameplay and deal with what's coming out.
Moving on to the campaign, I had a chance to sit down and try it. Paul hasn't got to yet, but I highly recommend him to, because it was just really fun. If you have ever played any kind of Red Raven game, and especially as I would say time has progressed, Red Raven has gotten a whole lot better. Not that they were bad in their storytelling at all. I've always really enjoyed it. But it's gotten to be truly a story, from small little excerpts in something like Above and Below to full-on stories. This one does it really well, and it takes you through an entire story of you're in this village. It's you have one of these elders burst into the village all bloody and telling you that the abbey's been attacked, and so you work your way to the abbey until you have the final battle in the abbey. It's really neat. It has this map where you get to kind of explore it, and you have options, and if you have done previous things, you've gotten keywords that let you do something different, and you make choices, and I cannot stress enough how exciting and fun this campaign really was for a solo. It was just so neat to get to do the different things, and knowing, oh man, I at one point had a knight that was kidnapped by it was snatched. That's what it was called. It was snatched by a giant bird. I later found that knight and had to fight the demons to get him free. And so it was really cool. I'm excited because there was honestly enough in the campaign for me to go back, try again. Like, there was an entire corner of the map that I just didn't even explore. There was tons of numbers over there to explore. I didn't make my way there. And I think it was paced very well. It had battles in between, and I I could see myself doing again. Now, it did take me, I'm going to say, about 3.5 hours. So, something to know going into it. And it's really kind of meant to all be done in one setting. Mm-hmm. But I think if you have that time and you know you're going to do it, man, it was a lot of fun.
And I think, honestly, that's kind of a plus for a lot of people, right? It's a one-off, one-shot campaign that you can do in 3-4 hours and then be done with it. Because, I mean, that's a lot of the problems with these big campaign games. I mean, even go into Now or Never, another Red Ravens game, right? Each game is going to be 3 hours, and you have 6 of them. On this one, it's just 1 3-hour game. You go through the entire story. You're done. You can put it away. You can get out later at a different time and have a different story. So I think that's really cool that you can have just this one-off campaign, go through the entire story and get that same experience. So I think that's something that they did really well. And like you mentioned, all of Ryan Lockett's stuff, we've really enjoyed all of his work, all of his writing. And it's really cool that they can fit that much stuff into this box. Talking about all the stuff that's in this box, if you like standees, this is the game for you. There is so much stuff in there, so many standees, so many imps and golems, stone golems, ice golems, demons, everything, right? They're all in there, and you're going to use all of them. They're not just there for looks. You're going to use all of them. So you're definitely getting a lot of bang for your buck with what's inside the box.
Yeah, so that's kind of all we really have on Nightfall. We really enjoyed the game. It was kind of a sleeper game for us. We neither really knew what to expect, but honestly, with all the time we've now spent on it, I think it is definitely worth it and a complete blast, and we both highly recommend it. So that's kind of all we have. Please, as always, like, comment, subscribe. All those things help us. They help our channel grow. We appreciate it. We appreciate you guys watching this, and we'll catch you on the next one. All kinds of ways to play.
Yeah, and all kinds of ways to play. Yeah.